Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Atla Pink, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that. We have this Canadian protest situation, and then the government said that it's going to block all the bank accounts connected to the protesters, and they also would like to do the same, obviously, with the crypto accounts, these Bitcoin accounts, which are involved. But looks like they have in here some difficulties. So let's talk about it. Then we have this kind of Ukraine and Russian situation, which could complicate the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. Why? Let's talk about that. And also the third news is all about that Grayscale investment asks investors to help convince SEC to approve Bitcoin spot ETF. Guys, all this in today's video. And if you would like to get the freshest cryptocurrency and the blockchain news, simply subscribe to this YouTube channel, Blockchain Bloom, because I'm bringing them for you every single weekday. Also, check out the links under this video, many useful ones. For instance, when you subscribe to, centralized exchanges, and then you get a discount from the transaction fees if you doing that with these links. Also, free course, how to start to invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Useful information in it. Okay, and now let's jump into the market where we can see that the Bitcoin is actually up a little bit, 3.2%, 38,948, while Ethereum is up 5%, 2,729. We see this decrease recently, of course. When we're looking at the top gainers, Cadena, it's up, but Terra is the leader here, 14.7%. Then we have Avalanche, 13.3%, and we have Arwave down here, 11.8% in the last 24 hours. And yes, when we're looking at the losers, we see not the main losers at the moment, no losers at all, because Now at the moment looks thing okay, but the fear index it's still high. We are in a fear situation. When you're looking at this longer trend line, which I could actually draw all the way from here, we can see that actually this one is right now holding, and we are at 38,800 at the moment, but we were between here this kind of 35, 38 between. We haven't touched obviously 35 yet, but yes. So we are definitely in the bear trend for a while, and we're going down. On the weekly, we still actually looking good in a way that when we're looking at the big picture, then as you can see here, it's higher highs and higher lows. But we shouldn't forget when we go into TA that we have these kind of news which affect a lot the price of crypto. It affects a lot the stock market, and it influences the whole thing. So yes, even the bearish pattern could be when the bear market is on for a while, that we can go actually sideways for long term and then just go up. So we don't know what will happen in short term and long term. Anyway, in long term, obviously, after a while, there must be a recovery when price is always going up. But right now, in short term, well, good question, obviously. As I'm not a day trader who's jumping in and out, therefore I'm looking in long term. So I'm just holding what I have. And which is not financial advice, when I see great entries, then I make my moves and accumulating, for instance, Bitcoin and sometimes some other big ones. Right now, I'm very, very careful with altcoins because, guys, if we stay here in this bearish period, altcoins will go down even more. So I personally would just invest right now in those assets which are fundamentally strong. But this is just my personal opinion. Okay, let's move on to the first topic, which is all about, which has started for a while, this protest in Canada. And, the banks froze all these accounts to those protesters who are involved in it. And, they would like to do the same. The government want to do the same with the crypto addresses, but they're facing some problems. So we have this protest, and the government, after a while, had enough and said, okay, they would like to use that act. Here you can see on the 14th of February, the Canadian Prime Minister evoked the Emergency Act for the first time since it was enacted in 1988. And part of the act gives the government and the banks the authority to freeze financial assets and accounts linked to the protesters without a court order or basically without a court order. And to be honest with you, this is crazy. So they have something like that, and they can actually act in this way. And what happened then there was an address which sent Bitcoin. Here you can see it, how it happened. So basically, cryptocurrency tied to the Canadian truckers protesting, COVID-19 restrictions has been on the move. It's still on the move in defiance of the authorities' order to freeze funds, blockchain analysis shows. So nearly all of the roughly 20 Bitcoin, which is roughly speaking $788,000 at the current exchange rates, sent to the Tallycoin fundraise is gone from that address, with only 0.11 Bitcoin left, according to blockchain.com data. Most of the 30 Bitcoin wallets identified by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police as being attached to the fundraising have been largely drained as well, with only 6 Bitcoin combined between them, on-chain data shows. So it looks like that they could send the Bitcoin, what they actually really wanted, and then the Bitcoin it's kind of gone from there. And we can see that the frozen Bitcoin tied to Canadian protest lands on Coinbase and Crypto.com. So the whole point is here, what I would like to bring up is, and just think about the CBDCs in the future. So if anything happens, then, the government can do anything with your money. It can freeze your bank account. Well, when you're having a Bitcoin account, and you're not even trying to keep it on a centralized exchange, which that could also face some problems because it is centralized, then simply you can survive these kind of situations, and they cannot really freeze, for instance, a Bitcoin account. How they do it? They can do it with a centralized system, obviously, but in this decentralized, they're facing some issues, and this can gives you actually some kind of freedom in the future. This is just an example. It's really, really a scary one, but you should be aware that when bad things happening in the world with the economy and all these things, we can see some other situations which are not pretty at all. And then you will be the one who have to kind of protect yourself and your family. So yeah, I think this is important to just think of, to consider just the idea, okay? Right. Next topic I would like to talk about is about this Russian-Ukraine situation, which can actually make the things complicated for Fed when they would like to make their interest rate decisions. So let's talk about that. So we do know that the Fed would like to raise the interest rate. Some, experts saying it's 7 times in this year, or also 9 times. So scary numbers. And this kind of situation, what's happening right now in Russia and Ukraine, can make it even more complicated. So the outcome of the Russian incursion into two breakaway regions of the Ukraine is uncertain, but it's already caused commodity price shoot higher. So it's already caused that. Economists say it is the price of oil that matters most because crude price can drive up inflation and slow down the global economy. So this is already a problem. We're already, seeing big inflation, but this can bring the inflation numbers even higher. So what happens to the oil could also determine whether the Fed continues to brisk pace of hiking after it raises interest rate in March, or ultimately slows the pace due to the growth concerns. So now, again, what's happening here in the market? What stays with us? It's uncertainty, because the new situation brings even more uncertainty. If the Fed continues to, with this rate hikes, interest rate hikes in the future, what they kind of planning, it can even make it more complicated because the prices are already going up because of this kind of conflict on the oil prices. So we have to understand that the situation is not easy at all. And because of the uncertainty, the market is in a bad shape, not just the crypto market, even the stock market, and everybody is waiting now what's going to happen. Which way are we moving? Are we going more down? Are we recovering? Are we doing now sideways? And why this uncertainty is on? This is going to be on. You have to live with it. But if you're thinking long term, sooner or later, obviously we're going to recover. It cannot go forever. It will kill the economy, kill the whole investment world and everything. But these parts are, these times are really part of it. It's not everything it's bright and sunny. Sometimes things happening like this, and there is a need for that in a bad way, because it will bring to the game the true investors in a way that those who are not trained well to be on this market are shaken out now. Therefore, I think education is the key to understand why you are here. And if you know why you're here, you also know that would you like to participate and continue, and you have a strong strategy, then you can survive these times. If you do not have that, then you act like and in a way that emotions will driven you, and this is definitely not the pro way to do it. Okay, and now the next topic, it's all about the Grayscale asked investors to help convince the SEC to approve Bitcoin spot ETF. Okay, so we have Grayscale. They would like to bring out definitely Bitcoin spot ETF, and now they're asking for help from the investors that try to convince the SEC. So Grayscale Investment, the world's largest digital asset manager, has launched a campaign aimed convincing the US Security and Exchange Commission to approve its Bitcoin spot exchange traded fund ETF application. Grayscale seeks to convert its 25.7 billion Bitcoin Trust GBTC to the Bitcoin spot ETF. So it could be actually major. But now they kind of asking basically the investors to help this. We do know that we have the future ETFs, which the SEC approved last year, in the last quarter of last year. And we kind of stopped there. But we do know that the true breakthrough would be the spot ETF. And well, when? Good question. Sooner or later, it must happen, in my opinion. We cannot avoid it, and this can definitely bring a lot of attention to Bitcoin and can be a catalyst for Bitcoin. And now Grayscale is definitely campaigning, putting pressure on the SEC with this. How it works out, we will see in the future. Guys, that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm back with the freshest. I wish you an amazing day, and then see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.